Alright guys, welcome back. Gotta go through, weld up in here where I trimmed it or sliced it a little bit so I can knock this radius over for the trunk filler. Trunk filler. Where it bounce up to the trunk drop off, and then these cross member extension and the tail panel all made up in here. Made it a tighter radius so it looks a lot better. Then going around, clean up all the edges where spot welding is going through, and show you what I did to locate the pass-through holes for the trim that goes into holes the weather stripping on for the up behind there, the door and the B pillar. Stay tuned. Alright, gonna get these slices here I made, welded up, ground down, clean the paint up in here while I have the grinder and my little 2-inch DA out for the air DA. There we go. And yeah, that's going up next. Enough of messing around with the cleaning up stuff. I was messing around with my spot welder trying to get it up in here previously with a quarter panel on. That ain't working. It's just too big and I don't want to have to manhandle it to try to get up there even with the smaller set of tongs that are on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole here, here, then can I drill one on there around the corner? Nope. So this could be 2 down in there, at least 1 and 1 in here. Yeah, we'll just drill one here just in case I could actually get to it. So it'd be 5 welds throughout here. When I actually cut the car apart originally, these things just popped. They were barely welded on. So I'm going to drill the holes through here on either side, clean the paint off, get it ready for the copper weld through spray, which I need to get some more of. And then I think once that's done, I got to drill the holes through here and then weld these rubber brackets on because I think they're pretty good in that space. Then coming up after that, the template I made to locate the pass-through holes for the weather seal trim on the B pillar. Alright, let's enjoy some more YouTube-y goodness, music, and time lapse. Alright, next up is doing the 1/4" drill bit trick, where you drill through with the 1/8" bit, take 1/4" drill. You just try and drill through the first layer of metal down 50 seconds. There we go. So before I took this quarter panel off, I took my scribe, yeah, there we go, took a scribed the line across here, and where that one top pass-through hole is for the trim that goes on there. So I knew roughly where the top hole is and that line. So what I did was I put some tape up on the car, and then just cut the holes out, and then I just laid this in up to where the shape of the or line it up to my scribe line, trench line, and about the best I can get it to kind of match how it fit on the car. And then I took some my silver marker, marked out the areas where the pass-through holes are, and then drilled the holes accordingly. And I did the same thing for on the driver's side because the template's just mirrored for either side. So I'm going to keep this around so I know when I go to put that trim on, the piece of trim that goes here for the weather strip retainer also. I know where the pass-through holes go through, so it doesn't happen like they did before where they drilled through and hit the inside structure there. So yeah, that was just an easy little thing I did. It took, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe to make this, start to finish, and drill the holes and locate them and all that stuff. So yeah, okay, next thing I need to do is clean up this side as I did the other, drill holes through the, let's see, can you see this here? Let me back out here. There we go. I'm going to drill the 5 holes through here, the 3 through here, clean some of the paint off of here, and put a couple holes through there, and then clean the paint off the rest of it. And this way, or the EDP coating, I'm sorry, and then I'll be ready for the copper weld-through spray for this. Stay tuned. Alright, I drilled a couple holes down through here where it goes meets the rocker, and through here, and yeah. Okay, since now I got most of the, well, I actually got all the holes drilled in the quarter panel that I want cleaned up, sand it down, ready to go. I need to get the some more copper weld through because I ran out. Oops. But it's time for the tail panel. Same deal. Got to clean up the edges here where I'm going to put spot welds at. Clean up a little bit here where I trimmed, down in here. Get ready for the copper weld through. And before I go to put everything on, I'm going to tape off this area, well, tape this area off, and then put epoxy primer all down in here. And the same thing with all in the trunk. So yeah, next couple sequences are going to be me cleaning this up and getting it ready for copper weld through. Enjoy. Alright gang, did a bunch of stuff off the camera. It's because I didn't think you really feel like seeing me cleaning up EDP coating off of this car. So I'm pulling on the bottom here, on the inside, same for the rear cross member, and the trunk drop off on the other side, clean all the EDP coating off, so get ready to prepare that for the copper weld through, which then I get spot weld everything on. There comes the fun part. I'm going to try to climb up inside of here. I mean, it's a little easier now without the tail panel and the quarters off. Get everything good go with the sandpaper, grind down some stuff inside there for like where I weld it through when I put the lower deck floor panel on. And yeah, it's coming up next. I'll probably show a 30-second clip of it just because I think it'd be funny. Enjoy. Alright, coming up next is me spraying all the copper weld through primer on the car, which is, yet again, going to be another hyperlapse just because, well, it's going to take me a few minutes to spray it on out. Enjoy more YouTube free music and the spraying show. Alright guys, back out in the garage. It's a little cold. It is what it is. Time to start taping all these areas up where you see the copper weld through. That way I can spray the epoxy primer and the lizard skin on here. So I guess I'll be doing a hyperlapse of that just because I like hyperlapses. I think they look cool. And honestly, it makes it easier for when I go to do editing stuff. Yeah. So let's get that set up, some good music going, and have fun taping. Alright gang, get ready to spray the lizard skin on here, but first I need to abrade the surface with a red Scotch spray pad, which I'm going to do with my DA sander, and wipe it down with the spray away glass cleaner, and then figure out how to spray lizard skin. Alright, here I guess we'll do another hyperlapse. Alright, so as that's drying, so one of the things I want to try to do is when I'm spraying the lizard skin, let me get you in the wide angle here. There we go. I just want to try to stay away from like the edges pretty good. You know, maybe like an inch or two far away from the edges. As you see, I taped that all up with paper or whatnot after off the camera, just that way so when I do spray the lizard skin, That's the part that gets tight up against the door pillar, or yeah, there it is, the pillar up there. So I don't want that spaced out with the lizard skin. And same thing with down in here. I'm trying to stay up above this a little bit here, so that way this doesn't interfere with going up against the wheel well. Yeah, you guys are going to see me do this for the first time. Never sprayed this stuff before, and good thing I got like a scrap. Got a scrap hood over there I can test the pattern on. Alright, we're going to get that stuff set up and gun taken out and all that fun stuff. And I'll be coming up next. Alright gang, the instructions tell you on the nozzle here to take it out 720 degrees, which is 2 full rotations. So I drew a black line on top there. So how far I turn it, so it's 1 full turn and 2 full turns. And lock it into place. I think the instructions also said, whatever I did with them, that if you take the tip out, there you go, take the tip out further, you get more material. Yeah, that's what the instructions say again. It says lizard skin, mix it, about a cup. Tightening the nozzle will reduce flow, and loosening it will increase flow. We'll have to see what that looks like when I go do a quick spray out on the hood over there. So yeah, and then it also tells you to take the sound control stuff, mix it up with a low RPM drill, which I think my one drill is pretty low speed, and it takes about 24 to 36 hours to dry. So that's why I'm trying to hopefully get this done tonight. So that way I got something to do tomorrow, and that way through the weekend I could probably actually spray the epoxy inside here and maybe get the stuff welded on this weekend. It'd be kind of cool. Because like I said, I have a goal in my head of where I want this stuff. I want the car back on something of suspension. Before Christmas would be nice, but after Christmas, that week after Christmas is okay too. Somewhere in that time frame. Because it'll be a year I've been working on this thing. So yeah, okay. Let me get my drill out, bring it over to sound control, and mix that up on video. Alright, there you go. There's the aftermath of it. The acquired mill thickness of, was it 24? You have one there? 20 to 24 is what the max allows. So yeah, there we go. Let this dry for a couple days, and then have at it putting them on the car. Like I said, I still got to do the epoxy primer on the rest of the car over there before I put this stuff up, before I put the quarters on. But yep, go next is taking off the paper and masking tape. And there we have it with all the masking tape taking off. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, we're making progress. It doesn't have that hollow tinny sound like it used to. More of a thuddy kind of sound, which is kind of nice. So even like when I'm talking over it before, you used to be able to hear it. It used to go real, like I said, a very tinny, or have a very slight spring reverb to it. All right, coming up next will be spray epoxy primer. Okay gang, finally spray some epoxy primer inside. See, I got the Eastwood stuff because, well, it was cheap. Hate to say it, but it really is. I didn't feel like spending, I don't know, I forget what PPG's DP90 goes for nowadays, but the last time I bought it, it was like 400 bucks a gallon. And I'm not gonna spray 400 bucks a gallon of primer on the insides of the car, especially when this stuff does pretty good. So this was like almost 200 bucks for the part A and part B. And the way it works is, oh, here we go. I pulled up the data sheet, which you can pull up online, and it tells you how much you need to mix. So in here, you use 1-to-1 ratio with part A. And you got these nifty little mixing cups that have ratios on them. I mean, a lot of stuff like the DP90 was 4-to-1, so it would be 4 parts paint, 1 part activator. But since every paint manufacturer or chemist, every chemist has their own way they want to mix paint. So this particular stuff is 1-to-1. So what we do that is we scroll this around till we find, there it is, 1-to-1 on the mixing cup. So I'm going to fill part A up to 6, and then up to 60 here, and that's how you accurately mix the paint. So it's pretty simple. It's not rocket science or rocket surgery if you want to talk to my friends at work. And I'm going to spray with this super cheap $30 gun from Harbor Freight. Yeah, they did pretty good last year or earlier this year when I did the rust encapsulator in the cowl and stuff with the cars. And also actually did a pretty good job on my spraying polyurethane on my stairs. Yeah, I'm lazy. So before I start spraying the paint, get everything good wipe down, hit it with the air nozzle, getting the heater on it because it's a little cold in here. It's actually not too bad, it's in the 60s, but still, I want to get a little heat in the metal so the paint will actually dry tonight. Because the colder it gets, the longer it takes for the epoxy primer to actually catalyze. Because remember, it's epoxy, it's in part A and part B, and mix them together. The chemistry cross-links between the molecules, making an epoxy coating on the car, and that's what gives you your rust prevention later on in life of it. So I'm going to set you up on a bit of a time lapse here. Hey, like I said, I like them. Pouring the paint, masking up, spraying the car, and all that fun stuff. But what I'm going to do first is, when I spray it, I'm going to spray up underneath in there, up underneath the deck lid, or the package tray and the filler panel. Spray that back wall there, work my way in and out, or yeah, up on top of there, and then I can work my way around the car. Yeah, that makes more sense because that way it's always going to be like a wet edge. And clean the gun up, and that'll be it for tonight. And tomorrow, or another day, I'll come in and then seam seal and all that stuff. So cool, let's get on with it, and enough of me rambling about paint. What does they say down south? Shoo-wee! That was a bit of a spraying. It's been a while since I sprayed that much. I took just about a full quart of actually epoxy primer. Actual spraying time, I was about 20 minutes into it, but with the hyperlapse you guys just watched, that was what, about a minute or so long? I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet. But yeah, that was about a minute of spraying. Oh, so much better. I mean, it's not perfect, because like I said, I'm not a pro. If I want a pro, I'd go get my buddy up in, who does my, did my GTO and my Cadillac for me. But yeah, there we go. It's so much better looking. I got a few areas of the copper well through to touch up that pulled off. I had to get back and resand them with, I don't know, I think it was 80 grit or 180 grit or something like that. And reapply some of the well through. That's no big deal. But anyways, yeah, it's so much better. All that work, covered up in epoxy primer. And one coat's more than enough for this stuff because it's pretty thick. I don't need to get more build up than that. So yeah, coming up next after this dries overnight, it's going to be seam sealer. All down in there. I'm going to seam seal all along that edge there and over top of the where the plug welds are at. Down along in there. I think I got back that up with something, piece of tape or whatever, where that hole is, and a hole there, believe it or not, which is like from the factory, hole down along those edges, around both of the bumper brackets, of course around the wheel wells, across the front there, the trunk, which I might do on the inside, get from the inside, down, along the wheel well, down along the trunk floor drop off, around the brackets, come up again, up around the wheel wells, and down on the inside there. And if people are wondering how I'm going to attach the, where is it? All right, there we go. That part of the quarter panel to down there, panel bond. No other way to do it. Unless I try to get in there or cut a hole just to put a couple spot welds. Guess what? Panel bond. Don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that'll be next. All right, guys. Well, let's get on with it. Oh yeah, forgot. Just to add a quick review. So this is what happens when you drop a little bit of water on the lizard skin when you're trying to clear some areas off here. But anyways, listen how dead that sounds. So much better. So earlier I said I was talking about like spring reverb. Actually, I was wrong. It's steel, so therefore it should be a plate reverb. Yeah, I know. I'm getting a little finicky. Oh yeah, I forgot to show this part too. Did I? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the thing I forgot to explain was the reason why I only did just down here where you can't get to. This area here, I still can get to after I go put it in the car. Because I still got to put the trunk bracket on there for the lock and all that crap. So it's not a big deal to get in here. Plus also I got a bit of welding in the corners to do. Alright gang, here's the day after everything's dry with the light shining on it. Yeah. This looks so much better. All one color. And I put the light on it because I'm about to start taping off up inside there for the seam sealer and whatnot. Oh, look how sinister. Look at all that room for tires. Nice. Yeah. Definitely fit like an 18 by 12 or actually, yeah, at least an 18 by 12 rim on this thing. So alright, I'm going to set this up and start taping for the seam sealer. I think I just did the inside there because it's actually the stuff I got is in a tube of like caulking tube, so it goes in a caulking gun. I may just squirt it around there. Use the good old tried and true. Yeah, let's try that one again. The tried and true finger method. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Alright, that was loads of fun. I didn't put tape up on the wheel well because, well, I know eventually I'm going to spray some lizard skin on there for sound control. That way I don't have to hear the rocks and all that crap up on the inside there. Probably should do on the outside, but not too worried about it. I can always spray the outside too. So alright, so I got the Eastwood's high solids seam sealer in black. Of course, darker is better. Blacker, more black, the better. And on the inside though, on where the wheel lip is, or the outer wheel well is welded to the inner structure, I have their brushable seam sealer. I think that dries a little more solidly or a little more flexibly, depending on which way you want to look at it. And I have it, and it worked pretty good when I used it up in the cowl and all that stuff, cowl area. So yeah, I'll squirt the black stuff down the inside there. And around where the outer brackets are. I'm going to wait to do around these guys for when I do, once the tail panel goes on, then I can do all that in one shot. So alright, let's get on with it. Okay, so I lied. I actually went with the black inside here. Reason being was because I had to put the other tube to get down in there where I was just doing the black sealant only. Yeah, the black seam sealer only. Like I said, had the other tube, so instead of wasting it, that's why I did all up and around the wheel wells. I did get in front of the trunk lid, or the trunk lid. I'm staring at the trunk lid. In front of the trunk pan up there off camera, and up in there around the inside of the wheel wells, and inside there too. But I did that with a brush, and it looks like crap. Reason why I did it, because my back can't get up in there. It's kind of stiff today. Is what it is. But yeah, this is what happens when you take your time. A little tape, a little bit of Windex or Adam's window cleaner. Yeah, looks like shit. Smooth, clean. And I know, like I said, this is gonna be a race car, but I get it. It's just, yeah, a little bit of pride. It goes a long way. And you know, I have the time to do it. It's not like I'm gonna rush to get the car done. But at the same time, I kind of want to get it done. But like I said, I got time. Alright gang, so I think that's going to be the end of this video. I mean, it's getting pretty long. It's like 40 minutes, I think. So I think next coming up, like I said, next thing coming up should be welding quarter panels on. As you see, I already started getting the cross-member extensions located and getting those welded in. That will be coming up in the next video. So that way it's just purely putting those on. Alright guys, thanks for liking, subscribing, watching, commenting, and all that stuff. If you happen to see anything need to be further explained, this is why I did it, leave a comment. Alright, thanks for watching guys, appreciate it, till next time.